Hey, folks, welcome into the 49ers Report. Cam Rogers coming at you here for Chat Sports, and I'm getting you all the way through the latest news and rumors surrounding the San Francisco 49ers. News and rumor number one is a long-term deal impending for Jimmy Garoppolo. All right, so here's the situation here. We're giving this 3 Jed heads, so we are faithful in it. Now, John Lynch said last week both he and Garoppolo are interested in getting a long-term deal done. He said, quote, "It makes too much sense for it not to happen. It's just a matter of getting it done." Jimmy G finished the season with over 1,500 passing yards, 7 passing touchdowns, and of course that beautiful, glorious 5-0 record. And in the grand scheme of things, it would be cheaper for the 49ers to lock in Garoppolo for a long-term deal rather than, shall we say, kicking the can down the road with a franchise tag after franchise tag. You don't want to be the Washington Redskins with Kirk Cousins. That I can tell you. Let's get into news and rumor number 2. Here are the San Francisco 49ers talking with a top defensive tackle prospect. All right, so this rumor here, we're giving it 3 Jed heads. We are indeed faithful in it, and we're talking about defensive tackle Harrison Phillips out of Stanford. He has reportedly been in discussions with 49ers officials as well as former teammate Solomon Thomas, and Phillips stands at 6'4", weighs 285. The problem is he's projected as an early second-round player, and the 49ers don't really have a draft pick in that area, so they would have to do some maneuvering if they were to go out and grab Harrison Phillips in the draft. Plus, by the way, defensive tackle isn't necessarily a need for San Francisco, but it is a rumor we are indeed tracking. We're giving it 3 Jed heads. Let's get into news and rumor number 3 here. Could Trumaine Johnson complete the 49ers secondary? So you've seen out there, I'm sure, many mock drafts linking the 49ers to grabbing a corner in the first round. Well, perhaps with all that cap space, they could grab a veteran in free agency in Trumaine Johnson. We're giving this 2 Jed heads, so something is simmering here. We're not buying into it all the way, but it's worth mentioning. And really, after a brutal season from one Dante Johnson, particularly at the end, folks, I'm sure you all know, cornerback is going to be a big-time need. And the question is, would acquiring Trumaine Johnson fix all of the issues in the secondary? So we do believe that something is simmering here. You know, you do have the cap space for San Francisco that lends you to believe that they could go out and make a run and grab Johnson, a free agent to be. And the Rams, they have decisions to make here with Sammy Watkins, LaMarcus Joyner, among others, in terms of their own free agency pool. Trumaine Johnson ranked 68th among corners, according to Pro Football Focus. But really, his leadership would be huge for Akella Witherspoon and Kawan Williams as well. So the 49ers could make a run at Trumaine Johnson. We're giving it 2 Jed heads. All right, folks, so what do these Jed heads mean? Well, here's our scale. 0 heads, it's fake news. Don't believe in it at all. 1 head, a little truth to it. 2 heads, it's simmering. All right, we'll talk about it a little bit. 3 heads, we're faithful in it. And 4 Jed heads, it's news, it's happening, it's a thing. This is the 49ers Report. I'm Cam Rogers. Check me out on Twitter at Mr. Rogers99. We thank you for all of the support. The first video did a great job on YouTube. Thanks to the fantastic Niner Empire out there. So we're going to continue on with these very fun episodes, and I'm keeping you updated with all the latest news and rumors. Let's check in with news and rumor number 4. John Lynch, did he send a message to one Reuben Foster? We're giving this 4 Jed heads. It is news. It is a public statement in essence. So that's why we're giving it that number. So Reuben Foster was arrested on January 12th for second-degree possession of marijuana. So that's really what is the driving force behind Lynch telling Niners Nation, quote, he's got to figure out how to stay healthy and stay out of trouble, but we believe he will do that. Foster, of course, had a fantastic rookie season. When healthy, of course, ranked as the 4th linebacker according to Pro Football Focus. And Foster, of course, did carry some off-the-field concerns prior to the 2017 draft, but it appears as though the team is making it a priority to kind of work through those things, and Reuben Foster going to be a fantastic player on the defensive end for the 49ers for the years to come. Let's get into news and rumor number 5 now. Could the 49ers go with a linebacker in the first round? And so we're going to give this one Jed head. Not too much truth to it here. So Niners Nation has the 49ers selecting linebacker Trumaine Edmonds at number 9. Of course, there is a coin flip that has to go on to decide 9 and 10 respectively. And although Edmonds is a special talent, great on the edge, on the inside, he can pass rush, backside gap shooting linebacker as well, also a traditional Mike. The Niners have needs elsewhere, so we're going to give this one Jed head because I'm leaning towards the 49ers perhaps utilizing the draft capital that they have to address the interior of that offensive line, especially in that first round. As you see there on your screen, Quentin Nelson is a guy that I am really tracking. We're going to talk about free agents later in the show, but Fusco is going to be a free agent as well as Daniel Kilgore. They have decisions to make on the interior of that offensive line, but Quentin Nelson could certainly help patch things up should one or both of those players walk and test the free agent market. So we're giving this one Jed head about the 49ers going with a linebacker, at least in the first round. Okay, news and rumor number 6 now. Jimmy Garoppolo's jersey sales. They jump inside the top 30. We're giving this 4 Jed heads. It is a fact. It is news. There's no doubt about this. So Jimmy Garoppolo had a fantastic end to the 2017 season when, of course, he was starting for the San Francisco 49ers. And it had quite the economic effect. So NFL.com released the top 30 jersey sales of the season. And there was Jimmy G checking in at number 25, beating out Dez Bryant and Le'Veon Bell. Not bad for playing in just 5 games. There you go, Jimmy G. News and rumor number 7. The 49ers, did they meet with a quarterback draft prospect? And perhaps could they grab him in the draft? So we're giving this 2 Jed heads here. Something is simmering. So the situation here, according to Breaking Football, during the Senior Bowl, the 49ers reportedly met with quarterback prospect Kyle Lauletta out of Richmond, and Lauletta is drawing comparisons to one Jimmy Garoppolo. And he also played in a pro-style offense, is an FCS player like Garoppolo was. And, of course, the 49ers have C.J. Beathard behind Garoppolo, but it's not crazy to think they draft a quarterback to kind of compete with Beathard during the training camp sessions and OTAs, etc. So something simmering here. We're going to give it 2 Jed heads. All right, news and rumor number 8 now. Are the 49ers going to trade Jimmy Garoppolo? And actually, this is coming from a story that is really saying the 49ers will franchise tag Jimmy Garoppolo, and then they will trade him, and then they will sign Kirk Cousins. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just had a heart attack right now, please don't you worry. We're calling this fake news. Don't believe in this at all. So here is the story. So writer Grant Cohn argues that the 49ers should franchise tag Jimmy Garoppolo. And then when the new, of course that would happen when the new league year starts, and then trade Garoppolo to gather a plethora of picks, and then go on to sign Kirk Cousins to be the quarterback for San Francisco. Here is a quote from this story. His trade value is worth more than his athletic ability to the Niners. Talking about Jimmy Garoppolo here, and it goes on to say, the 49ers can give Garoppolo the franchise tag on March 14th and then trade him to the Buffalo Bills, Jets, Browns, Broncos, or Cardinals. And then at minimum, the Niners would probably receive 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and a third-round pick. Look, I understand the logic here, but we're calling this fake news because it is not going to happen. All right, let's get into news and rumor number 9. Happy anniversary, John Lynch. So a few days ago, John Lynch completed his first year as the general manager of the San Francisco 49ers. And from what I can tell, and I'm sure from what you all can tell, he's doing a pretty darn good job. We are giving this 4 Jet heads. It is indeed happening. And it's been 1 year and 3 days to be exact, and you may recall Lynch personally reached out to Kyle Shanahan to show interest in the position. He was at Fox Sports at the time, and of course, made the jump from the broadcast booth to the San Francisco 49ers, and I would say he's done a pretty solid job so far, and it's only going to get better